Little black book. You know what time it is. 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 Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. Hey, we're gonna talk to you guys about why black males seem to be so drawn to light-skinned women and white women. Hey, remember, we're not saying it's a problem. What we're talking about is the programming. You understand? So, guys, if you're new to the channel, do yourself a favor, okay? Make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for notification of the what? Uploads, baby. And for those of you returnees, you already know the motto, baby. You got the minerals, you got the minerals. Alright, cool. Let's get into it, Let's talk about it. Look, in the last video, I talked to you guys about why black women are not desirable. But we're going to talk a bit more in terms of what the black male sees in the white woman and the light-skinned woman. So, you have to understand something. I got to break down the terms again. So, if you watched the first video, you might have saw me breaking it down. But I got to break it down for you again. Understanding attraction is very important because attraction is where we see the battle when it comes to talking about slavery in the aspect of man liking a particular preference, okay? Because his preference is dictated by what he's attracted to. What he's attracted to is dictated by what he has been programmed with. So let's break it down. The word attraction is the power of evoking interest in or liking for someone or something. The word evoking is very important because evoking means to bring or recall a feeling, memory, image to the conscious mind. I want to just touch on something. Recall a feeling. So when you've been made to feel some emotion here, there's a memory. When you've been told certain things and you see certain things, there's been an image implanted into your what? Conscious mind. Very important. Then recall is to what? Bring something to remembrance or to the foreground of thought. Very important now to understand that when you recall something, it is deeply embedded into your mind. This is where the subconscious comes in. Part of the mind which one is not fully aware, but which influences one's actions and feelings. Understand that your subconscious mind is being fed every single day, every second, every TV program you watch, every film you watch, every book you read, every single thing in life, in the world that you see, it's information that's being fed into your subconsciousness that is going to be what? Recalled at some point in time. So now you liking a white, black, green, orange, purple is dependent upon the information you've been fed with. This is very important. Again, because it's not about trashing a black male for the choice, but it is about understanding why certain people make certain choices. I already said in the last video, I don't rock with the terminology that I don't find black women attractive when you're black, because I just don't rock with that. You understand? We need to be careful of that. You understand? But hey ho, let somebody go. All right, so. And obviously, just to deeper again, a subconscious mind means to be part of a mind which is not fully aware, but which influences one's actions and feelings. Aware means to what? Have knowledge or perception of a situation or fact. Sometimes people are doing things and they're not even aware why they do it. They're not aware of how come they got to that point. And this is where we start our talk and a conversation. We have to understand, again, I said it for the last video, beauty standards are dictated by the colonial master. They have subjected us to what beauty standards is. When you were a kid, when you saw people when they put people on TV, they make them because they have a certain image that is what? Marketable. And so therefore, if you're only seeing white women, blonde hair, blue eyes, brunette hair, brown eyes on your screen, and you don't see many black women, what do you think is going to happen to the black male's mind? They are being conditioned and told that there is no other apart from these ones. This is the standard you need to go for. And so the word femininity also comes into play because femininity is talking about, let me break it down, it's talking about the qualities or attributes regarded as characteristics of a woman. Okay, and so all you're seeing on TV, you might see your mom in the house, but what you're seeing on TV, remember TV is about fame, it's about stardom, it's about us wanting to achieve to be greater. We want to be like people on the TV because they are lauded after, they are wanted, they have become what? Gods, and therefore they've called them what? Celebrities or stars. They are high above us, they are echelons above us, and so we desire to reach for the stars. Sorry for the S Club 7 particular reference there. But we're looking to reach for the stars. And so therefore now, because we now know that white women are now this standard and we try to reach it, now white women become a preference. This is very, very important. And so black women, as we said in the last video, have become undesirable, not because they're undesirable, but because the social construct, or should we say the social environment, says that these are the desirable traits that are for feminine women. These are the traits of a feminine woman. Let's just break it down again for them. Some of the things are empathy, gentleness, humility, sensibility, sensitivity, you know, sewing, cooking, looking after babies, and this goes on, right? These become part of what we call the feminism, right? Or sorry, not feminism, femininity. It's a feminine energy. So you might hear some guy say, I don't really like black women because they're aggressive. I don't like black women because they wear weaves. I don't like black women because they're too loud. Guess who said those things? It wasn't us. It was white colonial master. And the reason why he said those things is because he said he's not interested in the black woman. They are part of you. As a black male, they're part of you. They spent time with you in the wilderness. They spent time with you in the cotton fields. They're obviously strong. They're obviously very beastly-like. And so now the black male sees that, hears that. And remember, the black male is a male. And the male has pride. The male has pride. And he's trying to esteem himself to get himself on equal footing with the white male. But the white male has said he doesn't desire the black woman. Therefore, the black male trying to achieve stardom says, I will reject the black women in order to go what with the femininity that was at the higher echelon, because the white male has become the standard. It's wild. Because of this beauty standard, black women are then hypersexualized, and they are the only thing that is positive about them is the fact that it draws a sexual attraction. Right? And so what you see is amongst the body type is very important to what we call desirable attraction. So because it's white femininity, also the physique is also making sure that it's close to white women. So you see people like J-Lo will fit into the narrative so well because she has a slim kind of body, but still has a bit of a bum and some fitness on the hips. So that's good to go. Because remember, fitness of the hips is biological to say, the biological kind of understanding of it is that, someone's ready to nurture. They're ready to give birth, right? And so this attachment then, obviously then with the wider hips and the wider back of the woman, like someone like J-Lo, who doesn't have, I would say, they would call it out of proportion body. Right? Because what they say about the black woman is that she has out of proportion body, like an animal. She has an out of proportion, everything's too large. But the biracial woman or light-skinned woman seems to have the correct qualities that are close to the white femininity. So you see with white women, they have a slender body, maybe a little bit smaller backside, legs are a bit more thinner, you know what I'm saying, breasts are not too big. They are the perfect candidate, right? And yet what the black woman is, she's got everything too large. Oh, it's too animalistic. No, we don't want that. Right? And so now the black male is looking at the white woman as a perfect candidate. But hey ho, there is somebody who's going to mix the two. Because what the black woman represents is an over-sexualization. What the white woman represents is femininity. When you blend the two, you get a perfect blend. I get the femininity and I get the sexualization. Not too much, but I get just enough. Right? And so now someone like J-Lo is presented as this perfect, desirable woman. Because she's not got this, and another thing that's happened is that the light-skinned person or the biracial woman, whatever you want to call it, doesn't get the stigma that the black woman does. She doesn't get the stigma for having a physique like the white woman has. Look at Steph London. Doesn't get anywhere close to the stigma that a dark-skinned woman would. And the reason is because of this history we're talking about. Alright, cool. And so now, like I said, because the white man, colonial master, trounces and bestializes the black woman, the black man, in order to be able to reject the black female, must also go with the narrative that black women are aggressive, loud, angry, primitive, too raw, too close to animals for me to go for. And that's why you hear such destroying verbiage from black males when they're talking about women. Also, when they do music and they talk about women are female dogs and hoes, this is also a part of the agenda to what? Dehumanize the black woman, in order for the black male then to say, I don't need a black woman like that. I'm going to go for the what? White woman, who's what? The epitome of femininity. The epitome of gentleness, softness, meekness. Oh no, black woman, but white woman, when she gets angry, it's not aggressive. When black woman gets angry, she's aggressive. Why? Because they've made her to be an animal. And so the black male chooses, because he wants to, remember, he wants to reach for the stars to grow past his level. He wants to get up to another level. He wants to be equal plateau, if not greater than the white man. So what does he do? He has to reject what the white man says is not good in order to be able to be equal. This is why oftentimes we see a lot of guys who become very famous leaving black women alone. So I'm not saying, again, I'm not saying you can't have a preference. I'm saying that our preferences are dictated to us. And it's kind of peak. It's kind of mad. And so there's also this thing with light-skinned women that we class them as being exotic. And this is very important, because when you label someone exotic, what you're saying is you have something about you which is not necessarily Eurocentric, white femininity, but you have something that's close to it. It's got some of the features of it, but it's got a twist to it. And so therefore, when black women, when there are certain black women and light-skinned women that are labeled as exotic, often people that are normally biracial or mixed heritages, they call them obviously exotic. What they're saying is, you don't fit the natural mold or stereotype of white femininity or black femininity. You understand? You actually have a blend of something that I don't really know. This is why a lot of light-skinned women, obviously, especially as well, who are normally biracial, oftentimes get celebrated, because they've got this exoticness. There's something different about you. Oh, you from like Sierra Leone and somewhere else, like, you're mixing it. Oh, why? Because they don't fit the natural, they don't fit the prescribed structure of what they call beauty in this society. And remember, society changes depending upon those who hold power and what they dictate as the image or the standard of beauty. It doesn't stay as it is. It changes with the people that are leading and in power. And so the black male is been programmed from the very birth, from the very jump of watching films and TV shows, stuff like that, is to go against what he sees in his home. It's to go against that and say, hey, listen, look, you don't want the black male, female. You don't want her. She's not desirable. Okay? She's also masculine. I want you to understand, this is a program they do to us all the time. And the more successful a black woman is as well in a male-dominated arena, the more that she's perceived as being aggressive, because she's in a man's world. But when a white woman does it, she's not necessarily aggressive. She's able to, she's navigating her way through. No, she's making it. She's being tactful the way she goes about it. So guys, I didn't want to go too far with it, man. Do you know what I mean? I'm just saying to you, listen, there's a conditioning and a programming that is happening to a lot of black males. So yeah, it's interesting, because we spoke about this in Colorism as well, saying about the fact that how light-skinned women are said to be the higher value because of the fact that we're given wealth and prosperity and given so much land and stuff. But it goes deeper than just that. It also goes into the fact that people have a preference because of the fact that they are what we call closer to the whiteness or white femininity. And that's an attack on the black women. And we have to change that by invading the spaces where they actually talk about beauty, fashion. One of those things. That's why intentionally companies do not make makeup for those who are a color shade. How long has it been, and are we not one of the biggest consumers of makeup? Why is it that black women don't have many companies that do their shade? Again, it's to make sure that the beauty standard is kept low and cannot come up. Because if we give them the opportunity to become a beauty icon, what we're saying is a black woman is desirable. That's why Beyonce's wanted, Kelly isn't. It's not, and do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying Kelly can dance like Beyonce. She can't perform like Beyonce. And so it'll be, necessarily, it's not the fairest example. But what I'm saying is that when you look at the industry, there's not many dark skin women, okay, that are considered to be, considered to be almost godlike status in the industry like Beyonce is, okay? So these are the things. Yet Taylor Swift is an amazing, greatest artist ever that lived. And it's like, blood, what? white femininity. You understand? So these things are all playing into it as well. And so it's important to understand that. It's important to understand that, listen, that the stigma of being black as a black woman doesn't fall on the white woman or even a biracial woman or light-skinned woman. It doesn't fall on them. This is what we call a privilege, okay? Because they have a set of special advantage over counterparts because of what? Skin tone. So I just wanted to kind of break that down for you guys, let you guys see and let you guys know that, you know what, we had to talk about it. You get me? So make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of the what? Uploads, baby. We appreciate you, man.